What's up, guys? We're finally back, and I'm John from West Michigan, and this is
Nolan from Central Texas.
welcome to Video Game Talks Season 2, Episode 2. So, we're going to talk about BODCAM, and that was quite a display of wildness.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
So, we had internet problems, we had glitch problems.
Don't forget that it's still technically
No,
in
I'm getting
beta.
there. I'm getting there. But I'm just gonna say all the, we'll do it in order. But so we got glitch problems. Things we get kicked from the server constantly. That was the most annoying thing. It's like I'm about to pull up on you, and all of a sudden, bloop, black screen. But as my colleague Mr. Nolan was about to say, yes, it's still technically in the beta. It was made literally by two kids, like two young adults, I want to say, or just younger people. Um, and that's super impressive. So, I mean, absolute props to them. Nothing against them or the game itself. It's actually really fun. It's a really high resolution, so it's hard to run it. Yeah, so it's really high resolution. You have to have a pretty impressive computer setup to be able to run it and to run full graphics. But I think mine ran relatively okay. How was your experience?
Mine was definitely pretty good. My PC build is pretty. Even though my build's about 4 years old, um, it still plays the game really well. The graphics are amazing and almost a lifelike. I mean,
Yeah,
it's crazy how just advanced the graphics are,
yeah,
especially since, as you said, it was made by two people, which that is impressive.
super. Yeah,
And yeah,
the graphics
Don't say
are
it.
really good. My computer can't really fully handle it. Though is my only
Don't
issue.
be scared either.
But like when it tries to, and if I had, like, say I have a really nice computer, right, and it's got all the specs that really make the game shine, because I've seen YouTube videos where it looks amazing. That's what made me. I bought a PC. I should probably add this in the video. I bought a PC to play this game. So like that's how great this game looked to me. I mean, I watched YouTube videos
Don't be
right when the
scared.
game started to release, and I was like, bro, this looks like
Oh,
real
dude,
life.
you can
Like
go
it's
in.
it's scary. A lot of people are basically
Don't shoot me.
calling it like
I'm scared.
a horror game shooter, because just you're like walking through these corridors, all of a sudden it's all dark and the lighting is
there
absolutely beyond impressive, and all of a sudden I
there's
see
a
you and it scares you. You're like, ah! Like there was times when I screamed. I don't
there are
remember.
a few settings that are very horror based,
Oh
like there's
yeah,
that
even when you're
abandoned
going through the house and
hospital
stuff in
and
the basement. You sat in the basement for like ever, and then I'm like I couldn't find you, and I was getting pissed off. Like, where are you? And then all of a sudden I go, ah! And I screamed. Like, I don't remember how many times we should add like a scream counter. So we're just like, I could even do that right now. I'll be like, and here I scream, boop.
Don't shoot
Counter
me.
at the
I'm
top.
scared.
Oh, and there's another scream. Yeah, it was a little frightening. And you kept going on the roof. No spoilers to anybody that hasn't played and wants to find some good spots. But my man, did you spawn on the roof at all, or did you just get up there really
no,
fast?
I got up there.
Okay, because I would keep spawning back behind like that truck or something. And all of a sudden, I'd strafe a little bit to the right. I'd be like, what? I'd just look up, and he's like at the roof, and I'm like, what are you doing? Boom! And then I just see your body fly off the roof. It's so great.
Oh yeah,
I think the first time I did that, I had the AK, and I was so excited I had the AK. Because this game, if people don't know, you don't really get to pick your guns. They might like make a way to do that later, but you kind of just like spawn with a certain gun.
What kind of fucking fully automatic AK is that? That's not. Did you get hit? I told you
Which is cool. I actually like that. It's with it on Halo, it's called Fiesta. Where you just get a random gun and you're like, all right, it makes you diverse in how you play. Cool. What was your favorite, I guess, experience with the game? What was your favorite map? Just tell me some of your favorites about it.
I would say definitely the abandoned house is
Yeah.
my favorite. The atmosphere, it's like, as you said, it's like a horror game.
Yeah.
Except instead of going to kill a murder ounce, of you're just going after other players and all stuff.
Yeah.
And there are moments where it's like you mentioned during our gameplay that you can hear the character breathing.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that. Yeah, when they're running and stuff, and he's like, I'm like, panic, anxiety. Calm down, bro.
Oh yeah, like I haven't felt that much anxiety since the first time I played Doom 2016.
Oh my gosh. Those Doom games, absolutely. Super relevant, really new, and a lot of people are playing it. Like, I would consider it a very, very popular game, especially for the Steam community, and it's a decent price. It's not like it's $59.99. You know what I mean? It's a decent price. So yeah, I think my favorite would be the house as well. And I think it's good when we kind of had a disclaimer. If you just play 1v1, it's kind of good when you have a disclaimer ahead of time, like we ended up doing eventually, is like, okay, don't go in this room, or maybe we could stay outside, because otherwise the games can be like 30 minutes long to kill somebody. Like, he's just hiding in a corner in the basement behind a box, crouching, and he's just breathing really heavily. And I'm like circling around the house. I'm looking up at the roof again. I'm on the roof. I'm on the 3rd floor. And then also I wanted to add that I thought it was hilarious when we finally figured out how to do grenades and stuff. And we couldn't throw it. I don't know if you had the problem. I had the problem where I'd like throw the grenade and all of a sudden it would drop like right there. And I was like, fuck!
Yeah, it just
you just hear me yell, fuck!
Realism.
And then
if you don't control the grenade right, it's going to be like you
have to aim it up and do like a certain thing with the mouse or whatever, and then release it or whatever. It's really hard to, but there's the lag factor too. Like, I'm sure they'll fix that, but it's like it kind of lags, and I didn't pull it back far enough. I didn't hold. There was multiple things you have to do at the same time, and all of a sudden it just kind of, he does this, like he throws it up, but it falls right there. I was like, oh shit. And then it was a flashbang one time too, so I tried to throw it in a window.
That.
I tried to throw it in a window. That. It bounces off the house and comes right back at me, and I was like, "Oh damn!" I can't see.
Oh yeah,
I can't see.
Definitely with flashbangs.
I think you killed me one time. I did that too.
I think especially with flashbangs, that can definitely be just be aware. For anyone that does suffer from any type of epilepsy, flashbangs might kind of trigger that. So just be careful if you have.
Yeah, because it's pretty realistic.
Yeah, it gets bright. Like my whole.
Well, the whole game, even the flashlights, and when you're like going through the kitchen and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Alexa,
what's the size of the biggest whale?
Contributor. The Antarctic blue whale is the biggest animal on the planet, weighing up to 400,000 pounds and reaching up to 98 feet in length.
You be quiet, Mr. Dog. Chico, down. Get down on the ground and be quiet. You're so sleepy. So sleepy. You gotta say, cállate, perro. Cállate, perro. Okay. And we are back with video game talks. Now we are going to do the video game quote of the day. Nolan, say it with me. Video game quote of the day.
Video game quote of the day.
Video game quote of the day. So we have Majora's Mask. The child on the moon says, the right thing. What is it? I wonder, if you do the right thing, does it really make everyone happy? Deep. Especially for like an older game, you know, Majora's Mask, Legend of Zelda, you just dropped a bomb there. Alrighty, so next up, I cannot believe the last time we did this. How long ago was that? I want to say, was it like a year or two? I think it said 2 years ago on the.
I think it might have been 2 years.
So it's been a long time since episode 1.
Oh
But
yeah.
what's cool about that, what's funny about that to me, is I was just watching it the other day. It said 2 years ago, and we're talking about a game that I'm about to talk about again, and it was coming out then, and it's still coming out now. But we know more information about it now, and I actually have it pre-ordered on Steam, which is Stalker 2. I don't know if you're planning on getting it, but I have really researched into it myself, and it's so cool. I got the Ultimate Edition pre-ordered because you get like all this stuff, this nuclear and like cool like vintage and Ukrainian type stuff, and it's excuse me, it's really cool. And you know me, I'm very supportive of Ukraine, so I think some of the donations go to help Ukraine too, and you can go on their page and donate too. So I did that too, so that's cool. But yeah, man, it's awesome. I don't know a lot about it, I'm be honest, so I'm not gonna like comment on things I know nothing about. But from what I do know about it, I didn't play the original, but it's like there's these portal things that kind of just pop up. It's like you can go into different things, so you go through portals, and there's like nuclear related stuff. So it's kind of like Fallout and Ukraine, but with like magic-y type stuff. And it's just like what? It takes place near Chernobyl. So you know what happened there, and there's all these crazy like monster things, nuclear. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's very similar to Fallout theme.
I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking about Fallout.
Yeah, it's like a Fallout theme mixed with like not zombie, but kind of zombie feel to it, like horror-esque adventure game. And so I think I got it for Steam, but I want to say you can get it for other things too. I believe it's for Xbox. Not sure about PlayStation. Fact check me for sure. I mean, we're a forecast station. We should know more, but life's crazy. Whatever. But basically, I think the game looks cool. I'm excited. I want to say it's coming out later this year too. I didn't have a lot of prep for this episode, but you want me to check it? How about I got an idea. You start to talk about yours, and then I'll kind of touch on mine again. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what's your game?
All right. So I know the last time I was on here, I talked about Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. Well, this summer, Square Enix released the new expansion, which is Dawn Trail. Now, of course, Endwalker was the big ending of a big story arc, and so Dawn Trail is the beginning of a new story arc.
Okay, pause right there. Okay, just pretend like I didn't cut you. So November 20th, 2024 is when Stalker's release. It's called Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, and it's made by Ukrainian developer GCS Game World. The final release date of September 5th, 2004. I'm not sure why they have two dates. But I think they got another delay. So it'll be November 20th, 2024. And we are back. Nolan is talking about Endwalker.
Not Dawn Trail.
I was gonna say Endwalker Dawn Trail.
So since Endwalker was the end of a big story arc, Dawn Trail is a beginning of a new story arc, which you get to go to new location. As of this recording, I have finished the main quest scenario, which is very interesting. And
I didn't kill you this episode. Just be thankful.
boy,
It's a lo-fi dog.
all right.
Continuing.
All right. So, as with any other expansion, there is the inclusions of 2 new classes. I know one of them is called Viper. I haven't tried out the new classes yet, but I've
What is
heard that
Viper? Because I don't think everybody will know what that is.
it's like a It's more like I think it's DPS and all that stuff. I still haven't worked out the because after I got done with the main quest scenario, I've been going in and working on leveling up my other um, classes and stuff. So
So that's a Texas term. When he says DPS, he means Department of Public Safety.
no, I do not.
I'm just kidding.
No, I do not.
So, because we play game clips a lot throughout our episodes, what would you say is a lot of the kind of stuff that you did in the game clips? Kind of talk about what you did and talk through these videos.
Oh yeah. Pretty much what I did was I mostly went through the story and everything else and got to experience a lot of more combat. And this is actually really cool because I actually wanted to test it out with a new character, see if this happened with like the older parts of the game from from the beginning to now to Dawn Trail, where they actually now added a new feature all throughout the game where instead of having for dungeons,
Yeah.
some fates, you don't have to wait for other players to play with you. You can actually play with the
Oh, I
NPC.
like that. Pokemon Scarlet does that too. It's like you do these raids or I think is that what it's called, raids? Where there's this Pokemon with the big crystally thing. I forget. I haven't
Yeah,
played it in a
there
little
are the
bit.
raids.
Yeah.
The raids are there's some of them that still require other players, um, especially in the main scenario. But
You said it
I
does require it? Like you have to have other people?
some of them do require it. Some of them don't. From what I saw, from what I got to experience and checked out, just in case, because I do have a second character that I go in sometimes and actually try to test out what the new expansion did, what features of the new expansion went to the other expansions in the
Right.
of the game. And so far, I will say this: it's still there were a few times, especially with the main scenario, where it did get a little bit frustrating. As the producer of Final Fantasy 14 actually mentioned in a news article that there has been a lot more less stress scenarios in the game, and they're planning on working in more advanced uh, scenarios for the game.
I can hear him in the background actually barking too. So this is the point when I kill Nolan. I don't know if this is gonna work. Ah, Nolan! You didn't die? Oh man, see I can't hurt you from this far away. No fun. I'm gonna smack you with a book.
Still didn't feel it.
That's cool though, cause like when I did that, I could see the green from your camera, so it's like I actually interacted with you all the way in Texas. That's cool. Alrighty, so I can get these clips, so I'm gonna get these clips. But basically, I've been playing a lot of. Did you play Harvest Moon ever?
I have not.
But you know, like of it and stuff.
Yes.
So basically, you could argue it's like a not Pokemon, but I guess like Pokemon looks of a farming simulator. So it's like back in the day there was Harvest Moon, and you could kind of pick your character, a boy or girl, grow crops, get cattle, get livestock and stuff, and basically live a cool farming life. And so now they have what's called Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, which is I'm not exactly sure what the legal battles are and legal situation. Basically, they had to change the name. They couldn't call it Harvest Moon anymore. But most of the setting is the same. Like the people, well, they have certain differences, more inclusion of, I guess, different races and just different like things, just more
I
inclusive.
I could be wrong. It could Story of Seasons may have been the original title of Harvest Moon, but I could be wrong on that. I think I read that it was originally Story of Seasons, and then when it was brought over here, it was called Harvest Moon, and then they changed it back to Story of
That's
Seasons.
possible, and it's possible that like it switched ownership over the years too, and then it came back or whatnot. But basically, it is very similar. I know, like you said, regardless of like what the legal situation, there's something going on with that, the title, and if that's true, that's still pretty cool because it does kind of, it feels like I'm playing it back on GameCube. Because I remember playing it back in the day and how much I loved it, and it's just like the better you get at it, you can throw seeds all over the place instead of just one spot, and you can get like better tools. Like you can go from copper to silver to gold. And right now I have a golden watering can where I can just water like huge rows of stuff all at once, which is awesome because the game can get tedious and you're just like doop, doop, doop. And then to take care of the animals, you have to like cuddle it or what is it? I think it's basically like hug each one of them. That's how you take
Yeah.
care of it. You can like milk cows and do all that. So it's really fun. I've been playing it right now. I have a wife. We're actually getting older too. We have a kid. He's grown up. I named him Coulter after Coulter Wall. I like that you can like name everybody. Like you can name yourself, your kid, all your livestock. So that's pretty fun. So basically, we could switch to like ratings and kind of wrap it up and say, um, from where it's at and where I think it will go, you know, and then like a bigger team possibly get more people on the team. I think BODCAM, especially for the value, like the price, would be like a 9.5 out of 10. I think it has a lot of replay value. I think it's fun. I think people have talked about how the replay value isn't what they like, just because you're like, if right now, if you're getting kicked or you're having these problems or whatnot, or you don't have a large group of people to all play together, that can make it hard to want to keep playing over and over. But I think as the game progresses and people are like, you should get this game, you should get this game, and then you get all your buddies together and you're like doing realistic close quarter stuff, it's super cool. So again, I think 9.5. What would you say about it? Rating?
I'd probably give it about a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, one, it's just with me. I normally don't play with like other people most of the time, but even though I mentioned that I play an MMORPG where there's people running around everywhere, but it's definitely intense. I will say that it's intense. It's I love the environment. I love the aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only thing is that I will say this. I as much as I want to say it's downside, it's something that since it's still in beta, it can definitely be fixed. Is some of like, especially some of the controls,
Oh
some
yeah,
of the,
yeah.
especially I know there was and how to work out to invite people and other stuff.
Oh yeah.
But of course, here's the thing. I can't really consider it a downside because the game is still in beta.
Even when it releases, even when it's like not even beta anymore, it's alpha. I mean, when it initially releases the full game, you're talking everybody's getting excited about it. So
Oh yeah.
servers are flooding, and for this game specifically is different than most games in where there's only a team of 2 people. You see games where you see the credits and there's like thousands of people. There's the North America division, there's the Alaska division. If you want to watch all the credits, it takes you like a half hour. So 2 people.
Yeah. So for Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail, I as much as I don't want to give it a lower rating than Endwalker, I will have to give it about an 8.5 out of 10 because especially since now they're doing a new arc, there are some little bit of trouble with a little bit of the storytelling. Some aspects go a little too long and than expected. There are some required fights that you have to do, or you have to play as a different character,
Hmm.
and that's like one of the things that I am not used to a lot,
Yeah.
unless it's like unless you know unless that character has the same mechanics as another character like Kingdom Hearts or any other game that has like the RPG mechanics. However, I will say that definitely um, it's the story itself does hit hard, um, which I do have to admit that it's that I'm looking forward to what Square Enix releases with their post Dawn Trail story and whatever additions they do, and I'm crossing my fingers that they do another Hildebrand side quest storyline, which I
Awesome.
love me some Hildebrand.
Cool, cool. Um, and so then we'll go into Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life. Oh man, this is hard for me, man, because it's like you gotta relate it to the old one and all the ones in between that I haven't even really played. I've played some of them. I've played like 2 to 3 of them. There's a lot of different variations of it, but in and of itself, just as it is, I think it's like a 9.75. Like it's super high because I had certain expectations. It met all my expectations. It exceeded my expectations. It's easy to play. The only reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10, there's actually 2 reasons. I don't give it a 10 out of 10 because number one, it's not The Legend of Zelda, and obviously I can't put it ahead of my favorite series. And I don't know if I could tie it with that, even Halo maybe, or Fallout. But just for keeping other games separate and talking about this specifically, I still rate it very high because, like I said, it's amazing, exceeded expectations. It's got high retail value. I played this so many times, but the only other reason I don't make it 10 out of 10 is because the money system's kind of weird. I was talking about this yesterday. I was like, why is a cow like $3,000 but a goat is $20,000? First of all, not even close to like it would be in real life. But even knowing it's a game, they have some sort of universe that somewhat makes sense. Every game has universe rules, and that one just to me doesn't make sense. I guess what it is because the goat milk, when you turn it into goat cheese, is really good and it sells for a lot of money. So it's like, okay, they don't want you to get a goat too easy and you get too much money too quick. But it just kind of made me feel a little weird about the certain prices of things. Everything else, awesome. And then we have one last note, and that is a special mention I just thought about, and that I'm not happy about this, and I feel very underprepared. But it's the new Zelda game. Do you remember what it's called?
I can't remember. I haven't been paying attention to.
Okay, I looked it up. So I should know this being a huge Zelda fan, but it's Echoes of Wisdom. It's coming out for the Switch. Looks amazing. Have it pre-ordered already, of course, because we don't get a lot of headliner Zelda games these days anyway. So, and here's the thing. Do you know anything about the game yet? Do you know it? Okay, that's kind of good because it's breaking news here, folks. You've seen it here first. Nolan is just figuring this out. Guess who the main character is?
I've heard
So you
that
have heard.
I've heard like it was a rumor that I saw like throughout social media saying that it's going to be actually Zelda, I
It
think.
is. It is.
So it's going to be a Legend of Zelda game where you play as Zelda.
It's her legend. We've always been confused. Like, wait, shouldn't it be the Legend of Link? There is one though that is Legend of Link, but they're like, no, it just doesn't sound as nice. And Zelda's iconic, so we're gonna go back to calling it Zelda. But here's the thing. This is coming from a huge Zelda fan, super obsessive Zelda fan. I'm also kind of not. I wouldn't call myself anti woke, but you know me, how certain things I'm like that movie. It feels like they're putting this person or this gender type or this sexual orientation just to put it in there. There's not like actual motivation, and I'm kind of not super supportive of that. I think anybody of any race can do any role. I think anybody of any gender can do any role. But to force it where it doesn't even make sense, that I'm not a huge fan. However, this Peppermint is a good movie to support what I do promote in that world, where she's a woman, obviously, but it's motivated. Like, it makes sense. She's like a mother that, you know, she's fighting for a child type thing, or like revenge type thing. So it totally makes sense. This is another one of those where I think it actually makes sense how they do it, because Zelda is rescuing Link. Like, Link genuinely like gets, there's like these rift things and he falls in. It's plausible. Like, I mean, yeah, you could set it up because somebody really wants Zelda to be, and whatever, that's fine. It's a nice change of pace, but it's like he falls into the rift and she's got to rescue me. I'm not against it, I guess is my point. I think it's kind of, I'm excited.
I will say that this is actually kind of cool that it's actually coming from Nintendo, because there were those really terrible Zelda CDI games where
I never even played those. I've researched them, but I've never even played them.
Especially the I think the one of Gamelon, that was the one that had Zelda as the main character.
Oh, so they have done this before? Because I thought they might have, but
that was that. But Nintendo doesn't acknowledge.
I know. I read that. They said nope. We don't. That's not canon.
Because of how bad they are.
Yeah, people like really hated it. But no, this from the trailers, it looks good. This looks really good from the trailers, and I do hope that they surprise me and you eventually at some point in the game can play as Link, because I do love playing as Link. I've identified him in cosplay. I identified as him. I pretend I am the character when I'm playing the game, and I'm like, I'm not a girl, so it's hard for me to play the opposite gender in games. Some people don't, you know, and it depends what the game is or if I'm intentionally doing it. Like Pal World, once I played a lot of it. Oh, actually, no, I was a female in that right away. But anyway, it didn't bother me. But I'm just saying, I've been playing as Link, the man Link, me playing as him for a long time, so it's just like in my mind, that's Legend of Zelda. So it will be a learning curve or whatever. It'll be, okay, I gotta get used to this, but it looks cool. But this is basically the extended version of Video Game Talks Episode 2. And it's been good having you. You know, you're all the way from Texas. I miss Texas. Thank you for driving all the way up to Michigan. Just kidding. Driving to my stream here. I hope it's been fun. I haven't killed you yet, though, so we're going to cut right here, and I'll be right back.
Including Link. Now alone?
Oh, dear.
Last time I killed you with a decent quality Master Sword. But this time I'm killing you with a really good quality Master Sword. It's time to die, Nolan. You don't look like you're dying. Look like you're dying. Fall out of that chair, Nolan. You will die.
I'm not going to fall out of this chair.
Fall out of that chair.
I'm not going to fall out of this chair. I got the headset on, dude.
Link is mad at you right now. Link is in a rift for you. You gotta be Zelda to rescue him. You can't even die for him. Unbelievable. I'm telling Mom. Alright, folks. It's been a lovely time. Thank you so much, Mr. Nolan. And thank you for all your words of wisdom, sir. Have a good one. It's hurting my neck right now. Stop.